everyone, welcome to Techcravers and another video. We barely had time to start building hype for the AYN Thor, some of us even pre-ordered it, before AYN blew us away again. Almost out of nowhere, they revealed their next flagship Android handheld, the AYN Odin 3. And this is already sparking a ton of discussion online. Some people are calling it a one-by-one copy of the Retroid Pocket 5, others say it looks like a slightly tweaked Odin 2 Portal, and then there are those who argue it's closer to the Odin 2 Pro thanks to its chunkier grips and more ergonomic shell. No specs have officially been shared yet, but just the design alone has people debating whether this is a smart refinement or just a recycled look. So today we're going to go over what AYN has actually shown us, what the community is saying, and why the Odin 3 could be one of the most important Android handhelds of 2025. Now let's jump into it. So what did AYN actually reveal? Well, right now we've only seen teaser images and design renders. From those, it's clear that the Odin 3 borrows elements from both the Retroid Pocket 5 and the Odin 2 lineup. We see asymmetrical joysticks, which many people prefer for comfort. The device also features chunkier grips, looking much closer to the Odin 2 Pro than the flat-packed Portal. And the button layout is instantly recognizable and the overall silhouette feels very familiar. But here's the big confirmation. Odin 3 will use a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, and AYN hasn't said which model yet, but we at least know it's a Snapdragon for sure since it's in the teaser. That's important because it sets expectations for a flagship class performance. With that said, as soon as the renders hit Reddit and sites like Retro Handhelds, the community lit up with opinions. On one side, people call it a Retroid Pocket 5 clone, same general size, same slab design, very similar layout, while others says it basically looked like an Odin 2 Portal refresh. Same DNA but not a huge jump forward. And then, as I said, there are those who think it looks more like an Odin 2 Pro evolution, pointing to the ergonomic curves and beefier grips. And honestly, all of these takes are valid. The Odin 3 clearly borrows from all three designs, but AYN's bet here seems to be take what worked from each and roll it into one handle that feels great to use without add-ons. But now let's talk some performance, and like I said earlier, AYN has confirmed it's a Snapdragon chip, but the exact model isn't known. The two most likely candidates are the ones people are hoping for. Is it the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or the newer Snapdragon 8 Elite? And what's the difference with those? The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is Qualcomm's current flagship for most Android phones. It uses a tri-cluster CPU with a Cortex X4 Prime Core and an Adreno 750 GPU. It's fast, efficient, and already more than powerful enough for everything from GameCube and PS2 to Wii U and Switch emulation. And of course Android gaming on that. The Snapdragon 8 Elite is another step beyond. It's built on TSMC's 3Nm process and uses Qualcomm's new Oryon CPU cores, including two high-frequency primes around 4.3 GHz. It also brings the Adreno 830 GPU, which benchmarks shows as delivering 30 to 40% better performance than Gen 3. On top of that, it supports Wi-Fi 7, advanced AI features, faster memory speeds, and even better power efficiency. So in simple terms, Gen 3 is fantastic performance, great efficiency, and already proven in phones. The 8 Elite is even faster, more future-proof, stronger graphics, and better in long-term support. My hope? Well, that's that AYN goes with the Elite. It would make Odin 3 the most powerful Android handheld yet, while still staying in that sweet spot below x86 devices in cost. Specs aside, Odin 3 matters because of what it represents. The original Odin completely changed how we look at Android handhelds. It proved they could feel premium, powerful and polished. Odin 2 carried that forward with the Pro, Mini and Portal variations. Now Odin 3 looks to be refining the formula once again. The grips suggest comfort first, the Snapdragon confirmation ensures performance, and the familiar design language keeps it accessible. And in a market that's getting more crowded by the day, between Retroid's affordable devices and Ioneo's premium x86 monsters, AYN seems to be positioning Odin 3 as the ergonomic premium Android handheld for 2025. And until we get some hard specs, which I assume we'll be getting any day now, I do have a few hopes for the Odin 3. First of all, I really want AYN to continue with a high quality OLED display, just like they did on the Odin 2 Portal. That screen was already a highlight with its deep black and vibrant colors, but I'd love to see Odin 3 push it even further. Maybe with higher brightness, improved HDR support and ideally a refresh rate bump over the Odin 2. Smoother motion can make a noticeable difference not just in fast-paced Android titles but also when emulating older systems where fluidity adds to the experience. Another thing that matters just as much is ergonomics. From the renders it looks like AYN is leaning toward chunkier grips, closer to what we had on the Odin 2 Pro. That's promising because one of the main criticisms of the Portal and the Retroid Pocket 5 was that they simply weren't comfortable to hold for long sessions. If Odin 3 can deliver the same level of performance but in a body that actually feels great in my hands, it would instantly set itself apart. I'm also hoping that AYN sticks to its tradition of including Hall effect sticks and quality triggers. Not only does that give players more precision, but it also extends the device lifespan by reducing stick drift, something that's a huge problem on cheaper handhelds and controllers. It's one of those quality of life features you barely think of until it's gone, and once you had it you never want to go back. Another must is modern connectivity. Whether it's Wi-Fi 6 or even Wi-Fi 7 paired with low latency Bluetooth, having the latest standards is crucial if you want to stream from the cloud or from your home PC. Nothing kills a good experience faster than laggy wireless, and this is an area where Odin 3 could quietly outshine a lot of its competitors. And finally there's a big one: pricing. AYN has always managed to strike a nice balance between premium features and affordability, and that's something I hope they maintain with the Odin 3. If it lands significantly cheaper than AYANEOS x86 handhelds, while still managing to undercut or at least compete directly with the Retroid Pocket 5, then it could be the perfect sweet spot for players who want power, comfort and quality without breaking the bank. That said, we can already look at the pricing for the AYN Thor as a bit of context. As we know, Thor is running a slightly older Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and even with that chipset, the prices aren't exactly low. If the Odin 3 ends up shipping with a newer processor, whether it's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or the Snapdragon 8 Elite or Gen 4, it's going to make a small miracle for AYN to keep the cost down at the same level. But we'll just have to wait and see once AYN officially shares those details, and you can be sure that the moment they do, I'll keep you updated right here on the channel, most likely through a community post so you don't miss it. The AYN Odin 3 reveal may only be a design tease, but it's already created just as much buzz as a full announcement. Some see it as a Retroid Pocket 5 clone, others as a Portal refresh, and some even as a Pro-style evolution. No matter how you look at it, one thing seems clear: AYN is trying to refine the Odin formula once again, with comfort, performance and familiarity at the forefront. And if they really do go all in with something like the Snapdragon 8 Elite, this could easily become the Android handheld to beat in 2025. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Odin 3 is shaping up to be the handheld you've been waiting for, or were you hoping for a more radical design? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, I will read them all and I love hearing your takes. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, it really helps the channel grow. And of course, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future updates. I'll be covering Odin 3 closely as soon as more details come out, and I got plenty of more handheld content on the way. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.